Hello, my dear students. I hope you all are doing good. Well, it's getting hot day by day, so stay indoors and utilize your time in studying. So, today I'm back with you to discuss Act 3, Scene 4. And we are slowly progressing towards the main trial scene, which we will be reading in Act 4. Now, this particular scene tells us and reveals us about Portia's plans, how she is going to Venice and will be the one who would draw out Antonio from the clutches of Shylock. So in the beginning, the scene takes place, as you know, in a room in Portia's house in Belmont. And in the beginning, Lorenzo is talking to Portia. Here we start. Lorenzo, Madam, although I speak it in your presence, you have a noble and true conceit of God-like amity. Conceit, idea of God-like amity, divine friendship, true friendship. He says, although I'm just going to tell you that the person for whom you have sent your husband, he is a model of true friendship. Antonio was the one who had risked his life by signing such a bond. And Portia is also a symbol of true friendship because she dared to send her husband to help his best friend on her wedding day. So both Antonio and Portia show the true emblem of sincere and honest friendship. So he is saying, although you already have a very good idea about true friendship, which appears most strongly in bearing thus the absence of your Lord, you have already proved that you have the knowledge about true friendship because you have sent your own husband on your wedding day. But if you knew to whom you show this honor, to whom here stands for Antonio, how true a gentleman you send relief, help. How dear a lover, a true friend of my Lord, your husband. Lorenzo is saying, my Lord, your husband, refers to Bassanio. I know you would be producer of the work. That means you would be more proud of what you have done. So indirectly wants to say that you really don't know how much good Antonio is and how true a friend he is to your husband. Then customary bounty can enforce you. Customary bounty, the normal kindness. Force you will compel you. So she says that you are still now not aware that the sacrifice which you have done by sending your husband on your wedding day is no less than the sacrifice which many times Antonio has done for your husband. Portia, I never did repent for doing good, nor shall not now. So Portia says, I never feel sorry for what I have done because I know what I have done is only to prove that my husband Bassanio knows how to fulfill his friendship. For in companions, friendship, that do converse and waste the time together. Converse is talk. Converse and waste the time together, those who spend time together, whose souls do bear an equal yoke of love. The people whose souls bear the equal yoke of love, that is the same force of love coming from both the sides, that is between the companions. Now, what is a yoke? Here the word yoke has been used as a metaphor. Yoke, what is a yoke? Yoke is a cross piece of wood which the bullock pushes when they are drawing the cart. So it is a teamwork of two bullocks who push that wooden piece in order to pull the cart ahead. So here the teamwork, the bullocks refers to Antonio and Bassanio. So she says, whose souls do bear an equal yoke of love, there must be needs a like proportion. A like proportion, similarity of lineaments, habits, manners, and of spirits, feelings. So she says, I know very well that when two people spend the maximum time together, there are always going to similarities in them regarding lineaments, manners, and spirits. So I would advise you learn the same words which are given in the text so that you fetch full marks in your answers. Which makes me think that this Antonio, being the bosom lover of my Lord, bosom lover, very intimate friend, very close friend, must needs be like my Lord, must needs will be almost like my husband. How little is the cost I have bestowed, given, in purchasing the semblance. In purchasing means in regaining the friendship, in keeping the friendship bound. The semblance of my soul, semblance just like soul, my soul means my husband. She says, I know that my husband is very deeply attached to him. So it was my duty to help that dear friend of my husband. From out of the hellish cruelty, hellish cruelty here refers to Shylock. She says, I have done nothing very great in bringing Antonio out of the clutches of Shylock. This comes too near the praising of myself, comes too near almost. Praising of myself, self-praise. Therefore, no more of it. So, Portia is very modest. She says, when I am talking this, it appears that I am praising myself only. And self-praise is no praise. So, let's finish this topic over here. Here are the things, Lorenzo, I commit into your hands. Commit, give you the responsibility. The husbandry and manage of my house until my Lord's return. Husbandry, care, management. So very important. Now what Portia has done, Portia is very quick in taking her actions, her decisions. She has decided she is going to do something to help Antonio. So she is planning something which we will be coming to know by the end of this scene, and in order to move out of the palace, she has given the responsibility of a palace to Lorenzo and Jessica. She said that I have already informed my servants that I and Nerissa are going to spend time somewhere out. Until my return, Lorenzo and Jessica will be taking care of the house. For mine own part, I have toward heaven breathed a secret vow. Towards heaven, God breathed a secret vow, taken an oath. And what excuse does she make to Lorenzo? That I have taken a secret oath to live in prayer and contemplation, meditation, only attended by Nerissa here, until her husband and my Lord's return. So she says, I have taken an oath that we are going to lead a life of none. We are going to lead a simple life, which we will be leading, I and Nerissa, in a monastery till our husband's return. Until her husband and my Lord's return, there is a monastery. Monastery is a religious place 2 miles off. And there we will abide. How far is the monastery from her palace? 2 miles away. And there we will abide, live. I do desire you not to deny this imposition, responsibility. So she, on a way, requests Lorenzo that you please do not refuse to take this responsibility. Do as I tell you. I do desire you not to deny this imposition responsibility, the which my love and some necessity now lays upon you. What two reasons I have given? Because my love and some necessity, some urgency now lays upon you, now lies on you. So you please take care of the house till I return. Madam, with all my heart I shall obey. So Lorenzo says, fine, if that is your wish. In fact, Lorenzo and Jessica will be more than happy. After their elopement, they are just shifting their places. And now they have got a permanent place, and they are also to live like a king and a queen. So they are more than happy, they accepted, and Jessica also comes, and they all wish good luck to each other. After this, the Lorenzo and Jessica move out, and on the stage, remember this is a drama, we see Portia, and she has called her most loyal and faithful servant, Balthazar. Now Balthazar, line number 46, now she has given a very important work to her servant. She is planning something. She has already made an excuse to leave the house by saying that she is going to the monastery, but she is nowhere going to the monastery. She is planning to disguise herself. What is to disguise? To change appearance. Bhes badalna. So she is planning to disguise herself as a man, to disguise herself as a lawyer, take Nerissa along with her as her assistant, the lawyer's clerk, and they both will be going to Venice in the court in order to fight the case for Antonio. Now before that, she needs certain things. She has a cousin named Dr. Valerio. He is a silent character in this story. He is the cousin of Portia, and he lives in Padua. Remember the name and the place. So Portia is sending Balthazar to go to Padua, run at a very convenient speed, that is, go very fast. Go there. She has written a letter in which she has written all about Antonio's case, about the bond, and she wants advice from Dr. Valerio how she would be fighting the case, as well as she needs the lawyer's clothes. So she asked Balthazar to run there, get the required things, that is the answer to the letter as well as the clothes, and then she says, I will be waiting at the place from where the boat or the ferries move towards Venice, because they have very short period of time left. Next day is the case of Antonio. Now Balthazar, as I have ever found the honest true, very loyal. So let me find these still. Now what all instructions are given to Balthazar? Number 1, learn them in points, although you have to write in a paragraph. Take this same letter and use though all the endeavor of a man. She hands a letter in which she has written about the case, and all the endeavor of a man with a very fast speed. In speed to Padua. Number 2, see though render this into my cousin's hand, Dr. Valerio. Number 2, when you reach there, give this letter to Dr. Valerio. And look what notes and garments he doth. Number 3, what notes? Notes, he will be giving you a reply. Bring that reply to me. Number 4, bring the garments. He will be giving some clothes to you. He doth give thee. Bring them, I pray thee, with imagined speed. Imagined speed as fast as you can. Number 5, where to bring? On to the Tranect to common ferry. Tranect, the boat. To common ferry, the place where from where the ferries move, which trades to Venice. Trades to, which goes towards Venice. Waste no time in words. Don't waste any time. But get thee gone, I shall be there before thee. She says, I will be waiting in the ferry which will be moving towards Venice. So go at a very fast speed and do the needful. So Balthazar goes and Nerissa enters. And Nerissa does not know anything about the plan. So now Portia is going to discuss with Nerissa and she is going to say that we are going to do something. We are leaving this house right now. So come with me. As we move, I will be telling you about the whole plan. Portia, come on Nerissa, I have work in hand that you let not know of, that you let yet not know of, that you are still not aware. I have made a plan. We will see our husbands before they think of us. So she says, I have made such a plan that we will be able to see our husbands, whereas they will not be able to see us. They won't even imagine, and we will be able to see them. Shall they see us? They shall. So Portia says, no doubt they will also see us, but they will not be able to recognize us. They shall, Nerissa, but in such a habit, dress, that they shall think we are accomplished with what we lack. But what does this line mean? That when we will be dressed as men, so they will be able to see us, but they will not be aware that we are their wives. They will be thinking that they are just two new male people standing there. I will hold thee any wager. Wager, I bet. So now she has planned that she is going to change her appearance and go along with Nerissa. And she is challenging Nerissa that I bet when we both will be dressed as males, I will look smarter of the two. You will not be looking as smart as I would be. I will hold thee any wager when we both are accoutred like young men, accoutred, dressed like young men. I will prove the prettier fellow, smart of the two. And now she is also going to, again you will be learning according to the points. She has mentioned some things, how she will be dressed and how she will be appearing and how she will be conversing once she changes her appearance into a male person. Number 1. And wear my dagger with a braver grace, boldness. Number 1, she says, when I will be changing my appearance, when I will be dressed like a boy, I will be wearing my dagger. Remember those Shakespearean dresses? Dagger is a small sword, you have already read. She says, I will be wearing, they put their dagger over here. So I will be wearing that dagger with a very bold look. Number 2, and speak between the change of a man and a boy with a reed voice. Change between the man and a boy, the age, like your age, the late teens, when the boys are transforming into mature men. At that time their voice turns out to be very shrill. So she says, I will be speaking in such a shrill tone. Reed is shrill voice. Number 3, and turn 2 mincing steps into a manly stride. Mincing, small steps. Manly stride in a long step. Instead of taking 2 small female steps, I will be taking 1 manly step. There is a difference in the walking style of a male and a female. Number 4, and speak of phrase, fights, like a fine bragging youth, boastful. She says, like a young boy who boasts about his bravery. I can do this, I can do that. I will also be bragging over there so that nobody doubts that I am a girl. Number 5, and tell quaint lies, strange lies, how honorable ladies sought my love, which I denying they fell sick and died. I could not do withal, I could not help and stop them from committing suicide, from dying. And then I will repent and wish for all that I had not killed them. And she says, I will be acting just like a smart boy, and I will be telling all stories that I am a very handsome boy. Many girls are after me, but I cannot accept the friendship of all the girls. So all those girls, they went into depression, and many girls committed suicide that they could not achieve me. So I will be telling such strange stories. And 20 of these puny lies, puny small. So she says, I will be speaking such lies to the people so that they don't doubt us. Number 6, the men shall swear I have discontinued school above a 12 month. 12 month means 1 year. And by looking at me, the people will imagine that I am a fresher. I have just left my schooling a year ago. I have within my mind 1,000 raw tricks. Raw tricks, such small amusing stories of these bragging jacks of boastful fellows, the people who try to present themselves in a very high mood, which I will practice speak. So these are some points which she will be keeping in mind and practicing when she will be changing her appearance. But come, I will thee all my whole device, my whole plan, when I am in my coach, which stays, which is waiting for us at the park gate. So park gate is a place where a coach is waiting. From there, they will sit in the coach and they will go to the place where boats are being parked, and from those boats which are moving towards Venice. So she says to Nerissa, quick, we don't have much time. Just pick up what you want, because we have to go to Park Gate, to this place from where we will be taking the coach. She doesn't want to go from here because she is not going to the monastery. And therefore haste away, be quick, for we must measure 20 miles today. Measure, cover the distance. She says, today we are going to cover the journey of 20 miles. So we don't have much time. Let's hurry up. So this scene shows the witty intelligence, sharp, quick decision-making ability of Portia, how independent she is. She takes her own decisions, and she has even made a plan. She has even sent her servants so quickly, and at the same time it also reveals that she has proper knowledge of what a true friendship is. If Antonio has shown true friendship, even Portia knows how to keep true friendship intact. So she even dares to send her husband, leaving her wedding ceremonies all in that. Number 2, in this scene, this scene is also a contrast between Portia and Jessica. When Jessica changed her appearance, when she turned into a male by changing into page boy's dress during her elopement, she felt shy. She did not like it. But Portia is very proud, and she is very confident that when she will be dressed like a man, like a boy, she will appear to be very smart and good looking. So this is also a contrast between Portia and Jessica. So this small scene also fills the gap, and we are only left with scene 5, and then we are going to move to the main trial scene. Go through the workbook, attempt the questions, and try to analyze the story. So till we meet for the next video, do read it, and if you have liked the stuff, please remember to like and subscribe. Goodbye.